Sony has announced the next entry into the God of War franchise, God of War Laufey, as you will not be stepping back into the sandals of Kratos the Godslayer. Instead, you will be playing as the new titular main character, Laufey, and possibly her gelatinous cube companion. And perhaps most important and amusing of all, this is Laufey, and this is her voice actress. Imagine, we've been working on perfecting graphics technology for 50 plus years, and yet we still end up in a situation where we choose this instead of having this. And I'll be honest with you here, I am a complete tourist to the God of War franchise, okay? It's console slop to me, and as the PC gaming master race, I am therefore utterly unconcerned by it. So, for all I know, Laufey may very well be a deeply beloved female main character that everyone adores and cannot wait to play as in a God of War game. Entirely possible. But the fact remains that even if this is the best God of War game ever made, if this is everything the God of War franchise could ever want or desire, if it is a 10 out of 10 video game in gameplay, in audio, in presentation, in story, in every regards you can possibly imagine, the fact remains that it would sell one more copy, or probably a few thousand or millions more copies, if, instead of this, you'd simply gone with this instead. As it is nothing but a universal detriment to make your main character somehow less attractive than the damned voice actress. And make no mistake, that is exactly what is happening here. This is a deliberate effort to make the character less hot. Because, as we've talked about quite frequently the last few weeks, the progs hate attractive female characters. It is not diverse enough. They need them to be ugly, mid, and preferably coming in all manners of body shapes and sizes, from remarkably rotund to far too thin. Anything besides, well, hot, basically. And if your main character is going to have to be a redhead with nice hair, nice eyes, and also capable of fighting, and therefore can't be a 300-pound land whale, you've at least gotta downgrade her looks department somewhat. You gotta make her skin a little bit luminescent, make her eyes a little bit weirder, her nose a little bit odder, etc., etc. And again, this is absolutely a deliberate effort. It's not like technology is the limiting factor here. We can literally make the women look as perfect as we want them to be. That is kind of the point of 3D technology. Not to mention, we can easily replicate the facial features of a character too. I remind you of ye old bug eyes. That is perfectly represented in every game she's in, which is about half of them these days, and I absolutely, no joke whatsoever, fervently maintain that the reason why ye old bug eyes looks so one-to-one perfect in her video games representations is because the people who make her understand that this is a really weird-looking female character. She is diverse, not merely in skin color, but in appearance. She is a challenging wank for even the most determined and or deprived of male individuals, which is why changing anything on her is not really necessary. And hell, we don't even need to look at this merely in the medium of video games, as maybe we'd argue, 3D's kind of hard, maybe that's all we see it. Oh no, not at all. I remind you of the latest Tomb Raider animated series, The Legend of Lara Croft, where Lara Croft, probably one of the single bustiest female characters in entertainment history, is somehow titmogged by her voice actress. we used to have this whole debate going on about how there were unreasonable beauty standards in entertainment, in advertisement, in movies, in games, etc., and that women were just really suffering a tremendous amount of mental anguish because they saw these perfect women on the screen and went, oh, well, I'll never look like that. And because they were clearly suffering from this, we needed to diversify the ways in which we represented our female characters. Well, mission successful. We have actually now managed to produce a whole cadre of women that are objectively less attractive in video game and even animation form than their real-life equivalents. Not even a theoretical ideal, not even like what the supermodel runway Victoria's Secret star could look like. They're inferior to the people who lend them their fucking voices. And the worst part as well is the fact that they've gone full motion capture with all of this. They've even got that random dude from The Boys pretending to be the gelatinous cube with motion capture. Can you imagine anything more wasteful from an economic perspective? The entire the fascination and the addiction to mocap is nothing more than a lazy excuse, by the way, for the animators to not bother doing their jobs. In this day and age, we know how to animate characters, and in fact, as has been so thoroughly proven throughout the entire history of animations, capturing a character's actions and movements one-to-one is actually objectively less appealing than capturing the characters in a stylistic fashion. People, when they're playing a video game, don't necessarily want to have the realism presented, particularly not in a game where you're sent to fucking hell and you're fighting alongside the gelatinous cube. They want the characters to look interesting, they want them to look fluid, emotive, and good. And doing that via motion capture is frankly just a goddamn waste of time and effort, as I guarantee you it will be cheaper to just fucking create the canned animations than drag literal celebrities into the studio who will be charging you thousands of dollars for this every single day, if not every single goddamn hour, to wiggle around. Particularly the fucking gelatinous cube. They put him in a little cage. Oh boy. You could literally have any studio extra if you, for some reason or another, were absolutely determined to motion capture the fucking cube. He'd do just as well. As at the end of the day, this has more to do with meeting Hollywood celebrities than it has to do with actually making a video game. Particularly as well when you end up with actually downgrading the appearance of the characters. God help me. It's one step forward, one step back. Every bit, isn't it? And this, incidentally, is absolutely, I think, yet another step on the path towards the negotiation between woke and anti-woke. In Last Light, the James Bond series, imagine, for example, if you simply took out the romance options, right? You removed all of that and you had Bond not be flirty. How many of the people currently defending the game would still be defending it? As virtually all of the praise I've seen active on social media about First Light, or was it Last Light, I keep forgetting, is about the romance options and about how this is truly a James Bond experience, which I heartily disagree with, but details. If you took that out of the game, how much of the positive coverage would remain? Some, sure, the game is still mechanically solid, absolutely, but it would wipe out a tremendous amount of it. In the exact same way that I already said, that even if this is a 10 out of 10 video game, everything that God of War fans could possibly desire out of their titles, you cannot deny that it would be doing better if they had simply gone with the appearance of the actual voice actress. There is no detriment to doing so. Or, well, the theoretical detriment is that you alienate the progressive audience. As we have proven repeatedly, that entire audience, its entire size, is about 400 to 500 people when it comes to video games, a medium that they actually have to purchase and then actively engage in playing, which they just don't want to. Hell, you can barely get these people to sit down and watch a television show, never mind getting them to engage with an interactive medium like video games, especially not something that requires a modicum of skill to actually complete. And so we end up yet again where now the negotiation is going to be, let's see, can we get away with an unattractive female character? We've now figured out that we can get away with attractive women, and indeed that will excuse a whole lot of not bondedness. What about the next step? What about we try to maintain the mechanics, but we push harder on the unattractive point? Well, that depends. I mean, the game could also suck balls mechanically as well. We'll have to wait and see, but this is absolutely, yet again, and we're not going to be done with this for quite some time, attempts from the more progressive elements within studios and possibly even within the development branches higher up, like the directors, continue to try to put in just enough of the things they believe to be correct, without also chasing away the audience that they are now dependent upon, now that all of the ESG and other supporting money has dried up. It also helps, of course, that God of War is an already successful franchise, and this might just be their first attempt at making that not the case. Still, imagine going back in time. Imagine finding the people who were working with pixel graphics, 16-bit nonsense, and telling them that in the future you could have thousands of pixels on screen. You could have literally photorealistic graphics, and we would still choose to make the women actively less attractive than they are in real life. Interesting times we live in. Until next time, I've been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I do hope to see you all again soon. Till then, have a good day.